Hello guys, welcome to the Divine Masculine 2021 overall reading and prediction. So this is a tarot card reading for anyone new that is tuning in. My name is Sarah, this is Divine Truth Tarot. I'm your intuitive guide and your reader. And we're going to be looking at the energies of the divine masculine counterpart, but also the divine masculine energy within you. So this can be read and this can be listened to. Sorry, not read. This can be listened to and viewed by both divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay, fantastic. So the cards that I've chosen to use for this Divine Masculine 2021 reading are the Beyond Lemuria cards, because we are ushering in the age of Aquarius. I do have the Wild Tarot, the Wild Unknown Animal cards, the sister deck to the Wild Unknown Tarot. I also have the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Obviously, the moon cycles are always significant, so we'll be looking into that. And then I did choose a tarot deck. I chose the Angel Tarot cards. So let's go ahead and have a look at the energy, the astrological, I guess, spiritual weather, so to speak, of the Divine Masculine in the year of 2021. Let me know how you guys are doing in the live chat below or the comment section below. And welcome, welcome. So we're going to start with the Angel Tarot cards. And as I shuffle this deck, we're going to invite in my dude, Archangel Michael, to create a sphere of protection and guidance and clarity around this reading, around the room, around myself, and around anyone watching. We also ask that, I ask that my guides, my highest version of self, and my team, my light team, show up in this reading to assist me to give clarity and guidance. And may I be a vessel of divine truth, clarity, unconditional love, and joy. Okay, that feels really good. This is one of my favorite decks to feel. It's really silky, it's easy to shuffle. Okay, so I'm being told, which usually is not the case for me, I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Wheel. So this will be the overarching energy for the Divine Masculine in 2021, guys. I apologize for the glare. We got a little power outage, so to speak, that I'm dealing with right now. And it is a nighttime reading, so I do hope that you can see the cards okay. Let me see if I can cut that glare. That's kind of annoying. Put it like that. Maybe we can just put it right here. Okay, I really can't use this side. I'm sorry about the glare, I apologize. So the overarching energy for the Divine Masculine energy in 2021, the Wheel. So this is, of course, this is a karmic card. It talks about karmic cycles. It talks about the flow. It talks about change. It talks about major shifts coming in. This can be positive shifts. It can be shifts that are acknowledged sometimes as not so positive. It's really, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? You get to decide, you get to decipher, and you get to react or respond. It's better to respond than to react to whatever is thrown at you in 2021, Divine Masculine. So I do feel like those in particular feminines watching, and it will be majority feminines watching, if your masculine has been stuck, if you have been in a cycle of no communication or really crappy in and out communication, if you guys haven't been able to get on the same page, I strongly feel like things are going to suddenly shift forward very quickly. And I feel like it's going to be a surprise to you. So this is a good luck card. I associate this card with the planet Jupiter, which is the planet of good luck, expansion, and abundance. This is Fortune's wheel. So the fortune is turning in favor of the Divine Masculine in 2021. So any Divine Masculines watching, or for your inner Divine Masculine feminines, or if you're watching, cross-watching for your Divine Masculine counterpart, understand that they have had one hell of a year in 2020, and it really started, the hits really started to drop. The tower started to fall at the end of 2019. But they really started to come down in 2020. So the masculine energy was dealing with not only individual towers in 2020, but also with collective towers, also with the whole world going through a dark night of the soul, a tower moment, hermit mode, Okay, the Hierophant, all of those energies were very much, the Hanged Man energy was very much at play in 2020. And the Divine Masculine sort of froze. You know, the energy that I have been shown many times about the Divine Masculine is they just sort of froze and were unable to make a move. They were unable to speak. They were unable to make a move. They were unable to convey their emotions, their thoughts with any sort of clarity. They weren't able to articulate to their counterpart or to anyone in their 3D world what was going on and why they were feeling the way that they were feeling. So I feel like this is really significant, guys, because if you think about the masculine as an action-oriented energy, as a taskmaster, so to speak, as somebody who gets the job done, somebody who's a leader, somebody who's innovative, all of those things were really put to the test, or rather laid to rest in 2020. They were really pushed to the side as the Divine Masculine was pushed to his limits or to her limits and was asked to really respond to what was going on internally. That's a challenge for the Divine Masculine. That's easy for the Divine Feminine, but the masculine is challenged by that. So tell me more, Spirit. Can I have another card, please, for the overarching energies of 2021 for the Divine Masculine? We have the energy here of the Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands. So it could be that some Divine Masculines are going to see themselves yet again in this cycle of working too hard, and it causes dis-ease and stress. Okay, it causes some sort of an imbalance within them. I don't love seeing this card, I have to admit, because I feel like this is for a smaller portion of the masculines. Those who perhaps didn't learn the lesson in 2020 and continued to work through it and push through it and really allowed their ego to take the lead, I feel like those are the masculines that are really going to be feeling this energy. And those are the masculines that are going to be the most affected by this particular card, by this, the energy of this card. Ten of Wands is a burdensome card. It's about carrying the burdens. So, I feel like this is something that hopefully has shifted for most masculines, and they've shifted out of this in 2020. So this could be just residual, is what Spirit is telling me. This could be residual energy that is being really removed from their life as we come into 2021. And Two of Wands energy, I love this because this is about really, it's working together, it's partnership, continuing to move forward. It's like as the world turns, right? The wheel is turning, the world is spinning, and things aren't going to stop just because you're having an individual tower moment, as much as we'd like the world to just stop so that we could cocoon and go into hibernation. That's not how it works. So Two of Wands, to me, also speaks of travel. It speaks of opportunity. It speaks of international travel, international connections. So I really love this energy. I love this energy because it speaks of the Divine Masculine connecting with other Divine Masculines, coming into your own, being authentically who you are, not putting on a show, not wearing a mask, and really, really just showing up in an authentic manner, which is something the masculine energy has struggled to do. Okay. Let's see. Spirit, tell me a little bit more about this Ten of Wands. Okay. So we've got the High Priestess. So what I'm feeling with this is Spirit is very much saying, those masculines who are going to be feeling this Ten of Wands energy carry over from 2020 into 2021. Those are the masculines who haven't yet learned to listen to their intuition, okay? Those are the masculines who haven't yet learned that their intuition is their biggest superpower, that's their own inner magic, that's their own individual unique magic. And if they've ignored their heart and gone with the head over the heart, and if they've continued to do that, that means, guys, you have a very stubborn masculine and they are fighting themselves. They are fighting the connection. They are fighting this. They see it as like a descent into spirituality or a descent, but it's actually a rise. It's actually an ascent into spirituality. But many of them come from religious backgrounds. And so many of them are very stubborn and they don't necessarily feel like spirituality is for them. So when they were made aware of this connection, whether through you or just through their own intuition or through dreams or through just something that caught their eye or even through another divine masculine, because a lot of them have connected to friends and they're both realizing that they are divine masculines. Whatever the case, the divine masculine is going to be feeling the pull to trust their intuition deeper. If they want to climb out of this cycle of feeling burdened by life, they're going to have to trust their intuition. They realize they're going to have to finally surrender. So that's what I feel like is going on with those masculines who are still going to carry over that 10 of Wands energy. So tell me, Spirit, tell me about love in 2021 for the divine masculine. We have Page of Cups, so that's a positive omen. The Page of Cups. Now, yes, the page carries a younger, tender-hearted, kind of naive energy, especially with the Page of Cups. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer coming up strong here. And of course, the Wands, guys, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we've got fire and water signs being highlighted. I do feel like the fire sign masculines in particular are being highlighted here, but we have the water energy coming in. So this could be your energy, their energy, or they could just be in this emotionally vulnerable place. So the Page of Cups is a real sweetheart. You know, think of if you've ever dated somebody younger and they were just so sweet and innocent, naive, and they hadn't yet been, I want to say, corrupted by dating or marrying or having those, and not corrupted, I'm being kind of silly, but it can feel like that, like you've been corrupted. There's been a corruption on your innocence from all the times you've had your heart broken and all the times you've really struggled sorry guys, hold on 1 second. That was unnecessary. Okay, come on. If it's an interrupt, just bet on it with me. So it's a younger person who hasn't had a lot of experience with romantic relationships. And so they might, they might regard you and put you on this pedestal. It's that sort of an energy. I do feel like this could be the divine masculine either meeting a younger divine masculine, or this could actually be the divine masculine emerging refreshed and renewed. And this definitely can speak of your masculine wanting to come forward, wanting to communicate, because pages can indicate communication. And, notice we have both the High Priestess and psychic abilities. So this is a masculine whose clairvoyancy or clairsentiency, claircognizance, clairaudience has come online, and they're aware of it. They're not fighting it. They're aware of it. They want to use those gifts to their advantage. So they do want to come forward to the divine feminine, offering a cup of love. Even if this might not be the whole shebang, guys. This might not be, I don't feel like the masculines are necessarily going to be offering everything all at once. This is sort of, this is a tender-hearted, somewhat immature, but immature in the sense that I feel like a lot of your masculines, guys, for you watching, for the watcher here, the cross watcher, a lot of these masculines did not have a lot of experience with real love, with real tenderness and affection and real partnership. They've existed in these so-called connections or marriages that were void of actual passion, that were void of partnership, that were void of romance, that were void of any sort of a soul connection. So they don't really know how to handle this. They're still struggling. This to me is like someone who's learning the ropes of how to actually show up and be the man or the woman that is deserved by their divine counterpart. So they're learning. I see them like with a book and studying and trying to understand how this connection works. We have the Two of Cups energy also coming in for the divine masculine. So I asked what's coming in love. These are really positive signs. The Two of Cups, guys, and the Page of Cups. So positive signs, positive indication that things are going to be turning, things are going to be shifting in 2021. When you have the Two of Cups, we think of that spiritual union, a union that goes deeper. Okay, you see they're underneath the water, they're in the depths. It goes deeper than the surface, the superficial. See how this cup is sort of on the surface? This is the beginning of offering something. This is sort of like dipping your toe in the water and saying, will you accept my offer? And then this goes deeper. So it's the deepening of this connection after the resurrection of the divine masculine. Spirit, what can you tell me about the divine masculine's headspace in 2021? Queen of Pentacles. So Pentacles energy, Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They are going to be definitely connected to the 3D, but I feel like this is in a more positive, well-rounded, more balanced way. Okay, because it says make time for those around you. This is not, the Queen of Pentacles is abundant, but it goes way beyond the abundance of coins and money. This is abundance in all aspects. This is somebody who is very warm and generous and likes to share her abundance. So the divine masculines being a little less stingy with their money. Many of your divine masculines are very well off. Some of them might be millionaires or billionaires or CEOs, very well off masculines. And they thought that that was everything. They thought that they could actually buy their happiness and the happiness of those around them. Perhaps they also thought that they could buy you, divine feminine. Okay, so for any masculines watching, this may be hard to hear, but I will always speak the truth. And so I do feel like there's a large group of masculines, the majority of masculine energy, and the masculine energy that the feminine carries, that the divine feminine carries inside of her. And I do feel like this energy is really speaking of ungluing yourself from your money and sort of wanting to give back, wanting to give more, not being as stingy, healing those money voids, healing those money issues where you thought money was evil or money was bad. So these divine masculines that were holding on and gripping so tight to their 3D world that collapsed around them in 2020, in 2021, they're going to be realizing that there's a lot more abundance than they initially thought. So this world is a lot deeper. There's depth. There's a 3D, there's 4D, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. And it goes way beyond what meets the eye. It goes way beyond what you have in your bank account. It goes way beyond your checkbook. Okay, it goes way beyond what you own. So there's kindness, there's a warmth, there's a generosity here. And there's a thoughtfulness that the divine masculines are stepping into. They want to be more thoughtful in their 3D world. They want to create. There's a creative energy here. They want to create a 3D world where they can feel abundant based on their relationships and their connections and not just the money that they have. Okay, so they're going to be reflecting on a lot in 2020, and not just reflecting because we have Pentacles energy. This is them acting on that energy as well. What obstacles might the divine masculine face in 2021? Awakening, Archangel Gabriel. So the divine masculine very well might face some challenges with awakening, okay? They might face some challenges with, I feel like in particular, if the divine masculine felt like they didn't have any work left to do, or they thought, they were hoping, just like the feminine, I hope I got it all out of my system. This is sort of going to be a wake-up call. Now, this is the Hanged Man deck. The Hanged Man in the traditional deck, in the traditional tarot. But this allows, it's like buying time as you awaken. It's buying yourself time so that you can awaken properly. Many masculines have started to awaken already, but many more are going to blossom and fully awaken in 2021. So you see it's a temporary standstill. It's a temporary pause in action, but it's going to allow for exceptional growth. And I feel like the divine, those masculines who will be in this Hanged Man energy will be the masculines who have refused to do the work thus far. The masculines who have been resisting, who have been really stubborn, they're just going to get pushed into this Hanged Man energy. And the divine masculine will not allow their life to move forward unless they face the music. Literally face the music and face themselves. 9 of Wands. So this is more, and the more energy of what's keeping the divine masculine, the obstacles, what's keeping them stuck. So 9 of Wands. So this is about wanting to protect that which you have created, the hours that you've put in, the time that you've spent in creating whatever it is that's in front of you. I feel like some masculines are going to want to give up in 2021. Feminines have been feeling that way in 2020. So the divine masculines may follow in 2021 and they're going to say, I just want off this path. They realize that it takes a very courageous person to go through this awakening process. And you have to believe in yourself first and foremost. So the divine masculines are going to be faced with some obstacles, some very challenging obstacles. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Tell me more, Spirit, about the 9 of Wands and awakening. Tell me more. 5 of Cups. Crying over spilled milk, okay? Not being able to see the abundance and the gifts that they have right in front of them. Some of them are going to be in this energy of wishing they'd done things differently with you, wishing they'd made different choices in their whole life. They're going to be reflecting on how they have gotten to this point in their life, because they're going to literally go back and revisit and review all the choices they've made thus far and what's brought them to this point. Some of the obstacles, okay, coming up. These are harsh, guys. This is real talk. This is not easy energy. So some of the obstacles for the masculines, it's going to be that they are going to be judging themselves harshly. They're going to be blaming themselves. There's going to be some shame associated with their decisions. I feel like these cups represent the break, the separation from the divine feminine when they went their separate ways, and this is what they're wishing for. This is like all they can think about is the 2 of Cups. So there's going to be some obstacles in the way to this spiritual union with the divine counterpart, but we're going to talk about how they can be overcome as well. So the other obstacle that came up here was the World card. Archangel Michael. So this speaks of cycles ending. If your masculine is still resisting karmic cycles ending, my God, I don't know how they're going to be holding on still in 2021. But if your masculine is in that group where they're still resisting a divorce, they're still resisting leaving, a narcissistic business partner, where they're still hanging on to their money, they're clinging on, maybe they're still deep in addiction, okay, deep in the throes of addiction of some sort. Whatever the karmic situation, that's going to be an obstacle if they're choosing not to let it go. And it's going to create a lot of, I feel like dissociation is what they're telling me. And it's going to create a lot of instability and chaos. It's really going to create some really dark nights if the masculine continues to hold on to that which has already surpassed the expiration date. That's a lot of cards. So let's see here. Spirit, tell me more about how these obstacles, because these are challenges, how they can be overcome for the divine masculine. Ace of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles speaks of you've planted the seeds, you've done the work, now you've watered the seeds, you've watered the plants. Now all you have to do is sit back and allow things to bloom and allow things to blossom. If the masculine would just step back a little bit and take this temporary pause and just allow themselves to be in this hanged man energy and go through this awakening without fighting it, without giving up, without reminiscing, but blaming and shaming themselves, if they could just let go and forgive themselves, they'd realize that they've already planted the seeds. They've already started to grow something really, really beautiful, this connection with the divine feminine. So they'll realize that their worry, their anxiety, their sleepless nights, their insomnia, their depression, that all of this is for nothing because the divine feminine never left them. She never left. She was needing a different version of this masculine. She needed the divine masculine to step up. You know, will the real divine masculine please step up? Will the real Slim Shady priest please step up? The distorted masculine, the distortion needed to go. But underneath it all, she always saw who he truly was. And, I feel like this is a tree. This is sort of a tree with a, kind of an ugly face here. And I hate to say the word ugly, but it's not very pretty. But I feel like this is like the feminine saying, we started something great and then it sort of turned ugly. We had something great and it turned ugly, and it needs to be watered again. The divine masculine has been turning their back on this connection for a lot of 2020, and it left the feminine in great despair and great sadness and angst and anxiety. So I feel like this is, the feminine coming through saying, you have to water the seeds again, divine masculine. You have to continue growing. You can't just stop there. You can't just, it's like telling someone you're going to get them a puppy, introducing them to the puppy, and then taking it back and saying, no, just kidding. That's kind of the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. If you're not going to continue to water the seeds or feed the dog, then don't get that animal, right? You have to, masculine, you have to nourish this connection. It needs nourishment. It feels bone dry from the feminine's vantage point. She needs something. He needs something. Ace of Cups. This speaks of a new, like a resurgence and a connection, okay? The rekindling of love. This can be new love, yes, but in the case of twin flames, in the story of the twin flames, to me, this is always the energy of a new cycle beginning, a new cycle in love, a resurgence of the romance, honesty about your emotions and how both of you felt when you broke each other's hearts, what that felt like. Now, it's going to be a tough conversation for sure. So that's not going to be an easy conversation, guys. But it's a necessary conversation. You can't just sweep it under the rug. Both of you were heartbroken. Both of you felt abandoned and rejected. It needs to be talked about. So Spirit, show me, for the divine masculine in 2021, show me the energies here. Show me what the masculine will be working towards. We've seen the obstacles, okay? We've seen what is going to assist them. Okay, if they can just focus on this connection. Okay, that they can focus on the resurgence of the love. What will the masculine be focusing on? Purity. That's beautiful. Purity. Snow moon. The white washing over everything, washing out the darkness. The light coming in to wash out the darkness. The dark night of the soul is going to be leaving for many masculines in 2021. They're going to be starting over, guys. It's like a new slate. And it's, that's disorienting. Oh gosh, that's disorienting at first. Sorry, I had a card literally fly across the room. That is disorienting at first, right? When you're starting completely from scratch, you're starting over. Some of them, are going to be starting with not a lot of money, not a lot of, maybe no job. I mean, it's going to 2021, it's going to look very different from 2020. And so these masculines are, if they've been putting on a quote unquote brave face, they're going to have to realize real quick that that brave face and that mask isn't doing them any good. The feminines, the problem masculines is the feminine sees right through you. Okay, the feminine sees right through any bullshit. She sees right through deception and lies, and she always did from day one. She knew when she was being deceived. She knew when there were lies. She knew when there were omissions. She may not have said it, but she knew it. So you can't lie to your feminine. And so that's why I feel that if the masculine hasn't come back into the connection, it's because they're not yet ready to face themselves and face the music and be honest with themselves, and hence be able to be honest with you. We have some strong energies coming in for the masculines. I can feel it. We have blossoming, the flower moon. So masculines blossoming into this new version of yourself, blossoming and leaving behind those parts of yourself that felt like they were less than, that felt like they weren't enough. Leaving the parts of you behind, the bully parts, the parts of you that where you bullied yourself, divine masculine. We also have power in protection. The power of the full moon is significant for masculine energy in 2021. But protection, but it's interesting because these seem to be very different energies, right? Power and protection. This is a woman who's very open. This is a woman who's very closed off and just wants to protect herself. So in order to reach your true divine power, masculines, you're going to have to protect this connection. You're going to have to protect your heart from karmic influences, from things in your 3D external world that are threatening this connection. If you want to bring more power into your world, more power into this connection, if you want things to begin again, if you want this new cycle, this new fresh start in love, you're really going to have to, mum is the word. You're going to have to stop talking about this connection. You're going to have to stop allowing people into this connection who don't deserve to be there, because these people are meddling in your affairs. They're meddling in your connection. People are jealous. People are envious of these divine connections. We know what I say to those people? Why? I mean, yes, it is a divine connection. It is a divine love. It has the power to change the world. But this is the most challenging journey I can ever think of signing up for in the earthly realm. This is the absolute most challenging. I can't imagine somebody wanting this. A soulmate is so much easier, and yes, there are gifts, there are blessings, and there are gifts, there are divine gifts. I have had countless blessings on this journey, especially in 2020, but it's also been significantly hard, significantly devastating. It's been moments of being curled up like this on the ground, crying for days. It sees you, it tests you to your absolute core. It tests your limits. It tests everything. So when somebody, to think of somebody being jealous, it's like, I think they're jealous of the powers. They're jealous of what this divine love could mean if it actually came into the physical for an extended period of time. Like what would that, guys, what would that look like? What would that feel like? I feel like people are curious. People want to know, what would that feel like to be someone's divine counterpart? They have no idea what we go through. That's why it's really frustrating when you have so many people out there claiming to be twin flames and they're just karmic partners and soulmates or soul teachers. They're not twin flames. So you have a lot of people out there who give twin flames a bad rep or bad name by talking about narcissists and thinking that's your twin flame. And on my channel, I believe that masculines can exhibit narcissistic traits, as we all can. But if you think that if you're dealing with a true narcissist with narcissistic personality disorder and you think that's your twin flame, I think you're sorely mistaken. I would suggest freeing yourself from that situation and taking back your power, stepping away from that person. We have Earth Star Chakra, initiation, a rite of passage. Remember for the Divine Masculine reading, I believe it was yesterday, we got the rite of passage card. So here's this energy for initiation. Rite of passage. Masculines are going through an initiation process in 2021. I feel like I'm being told those who have passed the test, those who have usurped, who have surpassed a certain point are being initiated. What I'm hearing is they're being initiated as divine masculines, divine counterparts. If you think of it, up until this point, until they're really balanced and healed and they're not exhibiting these selfish tendencies and they're not, ghosting and they're not running and all of these things. If you think about it, they're not a divine masculine or divine counterpart until they can embody a specific blueprint of specific energy. They're just masculines. So take them off that pedestal. You can love them from afar, but they have to grow, they have to heal, they have to be initiated, they have to accept the initiation. And they have free will and they have to step into that role. I came here to be something greater than what I've been choosing to be. So the Earth Star Chakra, okay, speaks of the chakra that exists on the bottom of the feet, right? That connects you to the core, the center of Earth, the center of this planet. And this initiation speaks of anchoring in to the higher realms, getting those downloads, receiving them, accepting them. And it speaks of collective consciousness. It speaks of working with power lines and ley lines, working with those grid lines, places like Mount Shasta, places like Hawaii that I mentioned in the Divine Feminine reading today as well. So the Divine Masculine in 2021 is going to be standing on the precipice of greatness, standing on the precipice of stepping into their Divine Masculine role, their true role in this lifetime that they agreed to. They're going to be, these ancient memories are going to be sparked within them, where they remember who they are. I am not this work machine. I am not this person who stays in a shitty marriage. I am not this person who stays for the kids. I am not this person who stays at this job just because I make a lot of money. I'm not this person who compares myself to the Joneses. I am not this person who thinks that money brings or buys me happiness. I am not this person who treats others selfishly, right? Or who is selfish and who treats others with a lack of respect or a lack of, or I operate from a lack of integrity. I'm not this person, guys. And this is the Divine Masculine energy within you as well, feminine. We have this within ourselves as well. Think about it. Be honest with yourself. Okay, so that's some of the distorted energy, and the feminine distortion energy is just as dark. I'll talk about that in the feminine reading. So this is the masculine holding the blueprint of their soul, holding it in the palm of their hands. And the way forward is clear, Divine Masculine. It's clear. Anchor deeply into the earth to rise higher. You want to be anchored to be able to rise. You can't have one without the other. You will be very imbalanced. So keep yourself balanced, masculine. Keep yourself anchored. Keep yourself working with those grid lines. Keep doing the work in the physical. But connect to those higher realms. It's time, masculine. It's time to connect to those higher realms. It's been put off for long enough. It's time. Many masculines, if you're a masculine watching my channel, you are awakened. You are a Divine Masculine. You are doing the work. And we thank you so, so much from the bottom of our hearts, from the depths of our soul, because we know how hard that is. We've been through it. I know it's not easy. In some ways, I think it's much harder for the masculine energy, because the masculine energy has been bred to be that workhorse and to be stoic and to be void of emotion. Boys don't cry. Suck it up, buttercup. Okay? The man brings home the bacon. All of these very toxic templates and toxic programming that they've been introduced to, that the masculines feel like they have to provide, or they're unworthy. The masculines feel like they can't show emotion or be vulnerable because it's somehow quote unquote bad or makes them less of a man. Well, I mean, that is insane to me. So we've got two animal energies showing up here for the masculines in 2021. Spirit wants me to say before I go into this, that those masculines who accept this initiation are going to learn, they're going to be reprogrammed to honor their emotions. No more being afraid of crying. No more being afraid of your own power. No more using your power so that you become rich, so that you get more money, so that you acquire more things. It's using your power for things that really truly matter, that are really truly going to change the world. So that's a big change for the masculine energy. We have camel and dragon energy for the animal energies that the masculine, the overall energies that the masculine is embodying in 2021. So we have an earth, can't talk. We have earth energy here and we have spirit energy. We have the dragon. So let's talk about the dragon. Here we go. Ooh, the third chakra, the solar plexus. Beautiful, beautiful masculines. This is so important. This is so vital. And notice how it's sitting right next to the initiation card. There are no coincidences. Seeing one's most true self, rebalancing the ego. That's what dragon is all about. Being able to look in your own eyes and recognizing yourself. You know those times where you look in the mirror and you can't recognize yourself and you know you've got some work to do? Masculines have been feeling that way. I don't even recognize myself anymore. Who have I become? How did I get here? Looking back on their lives. So the dragon energy comes in 2021 to sweep things away. Dragon energy, I feel fire and air dragon specifically for the masculines. I feel water and earth specifically for the feminines. So fire and air is great passion, but also great movement, okay? Great velocity. It says the dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we're courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It's almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura chakra translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. The fire is being sparked in 2021, masculines. You are stepping into your authenticity. It's a rite of passage, and it's being governed by, it's being watched over by the fire dragon. This is about claiming your self-worth, seeing clearly, honoring yourself, not giving in to other people and what they expect of you, other people's expectations, what other people, the neediness of other people, the codependency of other people, parents' energy, masculines, partner energy, toxic energy, drama, okay? Gossip, all of those energies have led to a distortion, and they've led to you lacking confidence in yourself to be able to achieve what you came here to achieve. They've kept you off course, and it's time that you look in your own eyes. It's time that you have the ability, masculine, to look in your own eyes with love, with acceptance, with truth, and with honor. It's time to heal that lack of worthiness. It's time to heal from where you felt like you weren't enough. At what point did you decide that you weren't enough? Who told you? Who was the first person, masculine, who told you, I'm not enough? I'm not enough as I am. With camel energy, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. A lot of masculines will be claiming their independence in 2021. Now, this might be challenging for the divine feminine energy. Why? Because the masculines may be... This is hard. This is triggering for me to say. The masculine energy may want time and space from everyone, and that includes the feminine. For the first 6 months is what I'm feeling, even if you're in communication, while they sort their lives out, while they come into their own. I mean, this is a process. You can see this is a process happening. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. The wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. So when their solar plexus is healed, masculines, when your solar plexus is healed, you can handle anything that's thrown at you. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, interesting, both signs talking about fire and heat, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water. We have got so much fire and water in this reading. Wow. And being responsible for one's own reactions or responses. The camel is a wonderful traveler, especially fond of trips to faraway lands. Masculines are going to be wanting to travel. You're going to be wanting to see the world again, to discover. You're going to want to rekindle that adventurous side of yourself. And eventually you're going to want your feminine to come along with you. But I feel like first you need to rediscover who you are. So that, masculines, my advice for you would be, if you're watching, be gentle with your feminine, because she's going to be so excited to realize that you are being initiated. You're awakening. You've awakened and you're stepping into your independence and you're stepping out of these harmful, toxic situations. She's going to want to see you and spend time with you. Please be honest with her. Be gentle with her heart as you explain to her why you may need your space, okay? Because that could be really crushing to the feminine who's waited a long time for this. So that would be my advice as a feminine. So be really, be honest, yes, masculine, but please be kind, please be compassionate, and please keep your counterparts' emotions, please keep their heart in your mind when you're making these decisions and you're going through this process, okay? Please find a way to let her know or let him know that you care and you love them, because this could definitely come across for the feminine as a little bit jarring, a little bit it could throw sort of a wrench in the plans, okay, of what the feminine has planned. But it will also be a lesson for the feminine to release and to surrender. So I'm really curious to see what comes up for the feminine reading. I'm going to stop there, guys. This has been a very long reading, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So masculine energy, I hope you enjoyed this as well. And if you're a cross watcher, I hope this gives you some insight into masculine energy in 2021. Have a beautiful night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the feminine reading for 2021 and more readings. Take great care. Thank you so much for watching.